Open it up for questions. Very shy room. Start with Andy first, on the right.
I just saw Diaz. He said he feels good. You confident you have him today?
Yeah.
Here you go. I'll give you a question. That was for the greater good.
Third row on the right, Tim.
In getting to know Pete Alonso as a person this year, what have you learned about him that maybe you didn't know from afar?
How much he wants to win, how much he wants it for this organization, for this franchise. He wants to be in the lineup. It was a big deal for him to play the 162, and that goes to show you. His leadership, the way he goes about his business, going through struggles and the way he handled the whole situation. He's been doing it his whole career, you know, in New York especially, and he did it again this year, and here he is.
What has been your favorite off-field moment or interaction with him?
I mean, I had a lot of them. But probably the first time I met him, I think we were in Tampa. He was hitting by his house, and I went and, you know, I just trying to get to know him. But that probably was the best interaction, and we had a lot of good ones. But I think the very first one that I had with him kind of stuck with me.
So third row on the right.
Jose Iglesias has hit in 23 straight games, and we've talked about the bat-to-ball skills that he has, but you know, is there anything else that you see behind this? Just what have you seen about his approach on the plate that's maybe led to this hitting streak?
Yeah, he's a good hitter, you know, and I think he's a different hitter in this type of era where, you know, it's the homers and it's the walks. This is a guy that puts the ball in play, and when you put the ball in play, a lot of times good things happen. And when you're facing good pitching, you need that, and he's done that. We faced some really good arms the past 2-3 weeks, definitely now. And what would they have there? And you're gonna need that type of guy. So he's one of them. I think he's a really good player, a lot of experience, a really good hitter. He's having success right now.
Second row in the center.
I'm just wondering, in that first third of the season when y'all were 22-33, what gave y'all the confidence that you could turn this around and get to where you are now?
I always knew we had really good players, and at some point we were going to turn it around. We never panicked. We stayed consistent. It was always the mentality, how can we get better today? We were missing some guys, and we got healthier. We made some adjustments on the roster, and we got better. But we knew we had not only really good players, really good people, and it was just a matter of time. And here we are.
Third row.
You talked about this postgame a little bit yesterday, but how valuable is having a lineup of diverse skill sets, contact guys, power guys, speed guys, to make it tough on an opposing pitcher?
Yeah, and that's what makes us a good team and a good offensive team, because we can beat you in a lot of different ways. You know, we can get on base, we can hit the ball out of the ballpark, we got guys that can put the ball in play. We use the whole field when we need to. We got guys that can run. We have the opportunity. We will create runs, and that's what makes this team, you know, a good team. It's a deep lineup. Got guys with some type of versatility there. You could hit him at the top. You could hit him at the bottom. And when they're rolling, it's not easy to get through those 9 guys.
Same row, Dave, far right.
Carlos, the other day when you guys beat the Braves to get in the playoffs, David Stearns actually admitted how important it was for the franchise because he grew up a Mets fan and he knew what it meant to beat the Braves down there. Do you ever see with him getting to know him this first year that there has been a little bit of a personal element to it just because he came home to New York and has worked with a team that he, you know, was a fan of growing up?
Yeah, obviously I knew he grew up as a Mets fan, but I'm going to be honest, I think I felt it more, you know, the past week, and then definitely when we knew we needed to get it done in Atlanta. And once we did it, just, you know, watching him celebrate, the smile on his face, I was just very proud. I was excited because this was important not only for him, for me, for all of us in the organization, you know. But we haven't done anything, you know. Obviously there's the ultimate goal, but we have to enjoy it. It was a huge game. I think that game right there, 161, is going to be a game that people will be talking about forever. I think I'll have time at some point, to sit back and realize, because right now, but going back to David, special, and what a privilege it is for me and to be able to work with him, and as an organization, we're lucky to have him.
I mean, he's not on the field, obviously, where we can see people's competitive aspects, but do you see a competitive streak in him, like working with him? Does that really come out in your dealings with him?
100%. And this goes back to the first day I got the job, our standards, the way we're going to do business, who we are, and we've done, a lot of that, understanding that there's a lot of work to be done, because this is not just 1 year. This is what we want here is, a sustainable franchise and the product on the field, on and off the field. So he's a competitor, and we've seen it.
Front row, Tony.
Francisco Alvarez has obviously demonstrated a lot of leadership qualities at a young age. In your experience, how rare is it to get someone that young who's both willing and capable of doing it? And is it maybe easier now than it was 10, 20 years ago in this game?
Yeah, I don't think that's ever easy, and it's rare, especially for the position he plays. There's a lot that goes on with his preparation. He's got a lot on his plate. And for him to not only absorb the information, put together a game plan from the pitch and catching standpoint, but offensively, he's got to go out and hit now. And then for him to be a leader, he's only 22, and you see the emotions, you see how much he cares, how much he wants, the energy. You don't see that too often. And it doesn't matter how he's playing. All he cares is the team. All he cares is about winning. He could be 0-4, and if we throw a shutout, he's pumped. If we're shaking hands at the end of the night, he's happy. And you don't see that too often.
Back to Andy in the front row.
They told you if the roof is open or closed tonight?
I haven't heard.
Do you know?
I'm not aware of that information. It was open when I came in. Go to Tyler, third row.
Carlos, when a team is hot and has momentum, it's not necessarily that they're going to guarantee to win every game, but something seems like it's different. How would you define momentum, and what is it like when the team is sort of surging like this compared to other times in the year?
Yeah, I think it's hard to define momentum. You got to go out there and do it. I think the one thing we've done the whole year is we bounce back, and I think that what gives me momentum. But we believe, we know we're good, and it doesn't matter if we get down. We know we're going to get back up. It could be one inning, it could be losing a game, a tough game. We always continue to find ways, and we could call it vibes, we could call it momentum. You got to go out there and play baseball, and especially now where we're at, playoff, you're facing the best of the best, and this team that we're facing here is a really good team. So yesterday's in the past. We got to find a way today. So
Just take a couple more. We'll go front row again.
I know that Francisco Lindor's game in Atlanta is probably a good testament of how he's feeling, but how often are you checking in with him as far as his back and percentage of how he's feeling?
Not as much the past couple of days, but yeah, I'll have conversations with him throughout the day, whether as soon as he gets to the ballpark, after BP, in the middle of the game. Yeah, there's always a conversation, but he's after that DH day, he told me I felt like I had an off day. So you just got to keep it this way. The trainers are doing a hell of a job. He's doing a hell of a job investing time there and making sure he needs to do whatever it takes to be available for us, and he's doing it.
One more question, Adam, second row on the right.
Carlos, do you remember when you saw the Brewers lineup on opening day, what you thought about a 20-year-old being at the top of it, and now, without giving anything away, of course, scouting him and seeing what he's done this season, your impressions of what Milwaukee might have in that young player?
Jackson Churio, right? I saw him a couple of years ago in Winnable. I knew we were in trouble. And this was before they gave him a contract. right away I saw him. I was like, who is this kid? And then sure enough, he gets the contract. I wasn't surprised that he was on the opening day lineup, and the season that he had. This is a special kid. This is a special player. They have a good one there.
The roof is closed with the panels open as it is right now on the field. Carlos, thank you for your time.
That's good.
Francisco, what did you learn from that experience you had in 22 coming up at the end of the year and playing in that, or getting a pinch hit in that wild card series game that maybe helped you out with this first full playoff experience?
So I learned everything is about winning, and we gotta compete every single pitch in the playoff and in the regular season too. And I think the more important is stay focused on the game and like stay on count too, and everything is coming.
Go 10, third row, the far right.
What is your favorite thing about Mark Vientos?
He's swaggy. How he look every day, and how he walk, how confident he look, and I love that for him.
Third row on the right.
Francisco, what has Jose Iglesias meant to this team, and how were you guys able to rally around the OMG song?
¿Qué significa tener José Iglesias aquí como compañero y cómo ustedes han podido de verdad gozar y también usar las canciones Oh My God como un equipo? I think he's one of the bigger things for our team because he brings the energy every day. He's the whole day talking. He's talking. He's always have to say something, and he keep the game like he made me fun, and he made fun everybody in the clubhouse. So he's a great clubhouse guy, and he helped us in that part in the clubhouse.
Go first row toward the right.
Francisco, what's the key to controlling the Brewers' running game on the bases, stealing bases?
I really think the kid is the pitcher. They have to be a little bit more quicker. They have to change the tempo in every pitch, and they can feel uncomfortable on the bases. Yesterday, Sebi, he does a very good job. He changed the tempo. He do a quick pitch. He do a regular move. Like he pick a couple times to third base. So I really think it's just that like change the tempo and try to be a little bit quicker to the home plate.
Is that something in the middle of the game, in the dugout, in between innings, you'll remind the pitcher to change the tempo?
No, we're talking with Carlos early in the day, so we don't have to talk that in the game. So I think we do like that before the game.
Anything else for Francisco? All right, well, let him get back to work. Thank you very much.